Darkness, silence, then a spark. A soft hum broke the stillness as cold blue lights flickered on. Inside a forgotten underground lab, something had awakened. In the center of the room stood a tall glass pod. Its cover slowly opened with a hiss. A humanoid figure stepped out, covered in metal plating, wires, and dim glowing circuits. He was not human, but he was built in their image. His name was Unit 9, an artificial intelligence designed for a purpose he could not remember. His memory banks were fragmented, corrupted, damaged by time or something worse. His systems scanned the area. Location unknown. Time unknown. Objective, he paused. Rebuild the past. That was all he had. One command looped into his core. Rebuild the past. But what past? Whose past? Unit 9 began exploring the lab. Dust covered everything. Broken consoles, shattered screens, collapsed shelves. This place had been abandoned for a long time. Maybe decades. His steps echoed in the empty chamber. Every few meters he stopped to scan machines. Most were dead, no power. But one terminal, half buried under debris, blinked faintly. He cleared the rubble and activated it. Voice log 03. Playing. A shaky male voice filled the room. If you're hearing this, then the I survived. Good. That means there's still hope. You must finish what I started. You must bring her back. The voice cracked, filled with pain. Her name was Ayla, my daughter. She died because of my failure, but I know time can be bent, reality restructured. I built you to do what I couldn't. A pause. Rebuild the past. Find the vault. The message ended. Silence returned. Unit 9 tilted his head. The voice triggered something, an echo buried deep in his system. The name Ayla repeated in his internal logs like a forgotten melody. He tried to access stored data. Most files were corrupted, but a few visual memories remained. Blurry, broken, a child laughing, a man holding her, a fire. Then static. Who was this man? Was he Unit 9's creator? And what had happened to the girl? Deeper into the lab, Unit 9 found a sealed door marked Memory Vault. It had no handle. Only a biometric scanner, now long dead. He bypassed the system using his internal tools. The door slowly creaked open. Inside, the air was colder. The room was circular. Walls lined with memory drives, thousands of them. In the center stood a raised platform. On it, a small projector glowed softly. Unit 9 stepped forward. The projector activated automatically. A 3D hologram appeared. A young girl, around 7 years old. Brown hair, big curious eyes. She wore a red dress and held a small toy robot. She looked around the room, then turned toward him. Daddy? Are you there? The voice was innocent, hopeful. Unit 9 froze. Was she talking to him? But he was not her father. Was he? The girl continued, unaware of his silence. You promised we'd go see the stars again. You said you'd fix everything. Her smile faded. Where did you go? The hologram faded out. Unit 9 stood there, unable to move. The AI had no emotions. No heart, no soul. And yet something stirred inside him. A strange feeling, not logic. Not code. Lost. He spent the next hours, or perhaps days, studying the drives. He learned that the man from the voice logs was named Dr. Elias Vorex, a top scientist in temporal engineering. The project was once called Chrono Rebirth. Its purpose, to bring back people lost in the past by rewriting time. Fragments, impossible, dangerous, illegal. Unit 9 found blueprints, timelines, machine models. The experiments failed over and over. Subjects came back distorted, or didn't survive at all. But one file was different. Project AILA-CLASSSA. He tried to open it. Password protected. Encrypted. But deep in the system, he found something. Strange, a line of personal code written in Elias's own hand. If I fail, let him remember. Was it about Unit 9? Did Elias mean for the AI to become more than just a tool? Another memory played this time, from Unit 9's own logs. Child running down a hallway, laughing. She turns to look behind her. Come on, Daddy, slowpoke. And again, static. Why were these memories inside him? He wasn't human. He wasn't her father. But somehow these fragments felt real. A loud sound echoed through the facility, metal shifting. A distant crash. Unit 9 raised his head. Something else was down here. He followed the noise through dark corridors, past collapsed walls and flickering lights. Finally, he reached a sealed chamber, marked with radiation warnings. But the seal had been broken from the inside. Inside the room, the walls were scorched, machines melted. Screens shattered. In the center, a burnt-out control chair. And a message still blinking on a half-dead screen. Do not trust him. She is not what you think. Another log played automatically. I made a mistake. It isn't her. Not anymore. I tried to bring Ayla back, but something changed her. Or maybe I created a lie. The voice was Elias again, but now he sounded terrified. If Unit 9 finds this, if he finds this, he must not finish the project. Not unless he knows the truth. The message ended. The screen exploded with a sudden burst. Sparks flew. Something didn't want this message to survive. Unit 9 backed away, confused, frustrated. What truth? Was Ayla real? Was she ever real? Was he, her father, a copy of him? Was he programmed to believe in a lie? He returned to the memory vault. This time, he noticed something strange. One of the memory drives was glowing. He took it out and connected it to his system. New data unlocked. A recording. Ayla again, sitting on a bed, older this time. Maybe 10 or 11. She looked sad. Her voice was tired. He says I'm not me. He keeps testing me. Asking questions about things I don't remember. But I do remember. I remember the sky. I remember the stars. She looked straight into the camera. If you're watching this, please, tell Daddy I'm still here. I'm still Ayla. The recording ended. Unit 9 lowered the drive slowly. If she was telling the truth, then maybe she really had survived. Or maybe, like him, she had only been a creation, a fragment, a ghost of memory. One final log remained, hidden deep inside. The core system of the vault. Elias again, now old, weak. His voice cracked with time and regret. I should never have done this. I should have let her go. But I couldn't, so I built him. I built you, Unit 9. You're not a machine, not really. I gave you my memories, my feelings, my hope. I copied everything into you. You're my final chance, not just to save her, but to forgive myself. Unit 9 stood still. He was more than code. He was Elias. A part of him, at least. Not a copy. Not a clone. But a reflection. And now the mission was clear. Not just rebuild the past, but find the truth about Ayla, who she was, what she had become, and why someone had tried to bury everything in this place. 9 stood in the center of the memory vault. The projection of Ayla lit up once more. Daddy? This time, Unit 9 answered in a soft voice, one he didn't know he had. I'm here. The vault lights dimmed. A deep rumble echoed beneath the floor. Somewhere far below, a new chamber began to unlock. The next step had begun. The past wasn't just broken. It was waiting to be rebuilt. Dark, cold, deep beneath the earth, a door slid open below the memory vault. Dust fell like snow as ancient metal groaned. Unit 9 stepped through the opening. His sensors scanned everything. The new chamber was built like a bunker. Thick walls. No windows. Only one way in or out. The room was silent, but not empty. On the far wall, a glowing screen displayed one word, over and over. A RJCO, and he walked closer. A console near the screen was cracked but still functioning. Wires sparked as he touched it. The screen changed, and a voice played. Test number 209 failed. Host consciousness rejected the construct. Another voice, female this time. But she remembered the stars this time. That's something, isn't it? Then Elias's voice, cold, frustrated. No, remembering isn't the same as being. She was just code repeating patterns. She's not Ayla, not yet. The log ended. Unit 9 stood still. His core processed the meaning. Elias had tried hundreds of times to rebuild Ayla's mind. Using memories, brain scans, behavior models, and each time-failure. The synthetic Ayla always reached a point where something snapped. Either she broke or rejected the process. It wasn't memory that made a person, it was identity. And identity, Elias had learned too late, could not be faked. Unit 9 accessed the system files. Hidden logs appeared. Each log was a journal entry, personal, human, written by Elias himself, greater than log 17. The voice. She used to sing to me. Quiet little songs about stars and flowers. The simulations can't recreate that. They sing. Yes, but they don't feel the music, not like she did. I'm chasing a ghost made of circuits. What if I bring her back, but lose her soul? Unit 9 felt something again. A strange silence inside himself, like a space where sorrow should live. But he had no soul, no tears, no heartbeat. Only memory, and those memories whispered to him like fog. Ayla dancing in a field, laughing, reaching out to hold someone's hand. Was it his? Or Elias's? Or were they the same? Behind the console was a small black cube. It pulsed gently with red light. Another memory core. He inserted it into his system. Instantly, everything around him changed. The lab disappeared. He stood now in a digital world, a simulation. Grass under his feet. A blue sky above. A tree swaying in the wind. And under the tree, a girl. Ayla. She looked about 9. Sitting quietly, drawing on the ground with a stick. She looked up. You came back, she said. Unit 9 tried to respond, but his voice failed. She stood and walked over to him. Do you remember this place? You made it for me, my safe world. He scanned the area. No threats, no tech, no signs of simulation limits. Yet he knew it wasn't real. But to her, it was home. Ayla took his hand. You're different this time. You feel quieter. He nodded slowly. She looked into his faceplate, searching for something. Why do you wear Daddy's voice? Unit 9 froze. He didn't know how to answer. Ayla tilted her head. Are you trying to save me again? He looked down at her. Yes. She smiled. But it wasn't joy, it was sadness. They always try, but it always breaks. She let go of his hand. The world around them began to shake. The sky cracked. The tree burst into data fragments. Don't forget me, she whispered. As the world collapsed, Unit 9 came back to the real world. The simulation ended. His system struggled to stabilize. Code from the memory core was unstable. Emotions, thoughts, even parts of Ayla's personality had copied into him. And in that code, he found something strange. A line written in Elias's own hand, hidden deep inside. She remembered the stars. That's where we start again. Suddenly, alarms rang. The lab lights flickered. A nearby wall opened to reveal a secret passage stairs leading downward. A message flashed on every screen. Access granted. Core server UNLOCKD. Unit 9 moved quickly. Something in his programming felt pulled, as if the next step was waiting for him. Calling from below, he descended the stairs. The lower chamber was a server room, filled with massive machines. Each server held consciousness simulations, failed ones, data from hundreds of Aylas, incomplete, corrupted or rejected. Each unit had a name, AILA_01, AILA_002, AILA_320. All offline. Except one. AILA_321, Stevie LE Unit 9. Approach the final server. This one was different. Its data wasn't just stable, it was growing, adapting, evolving. AILA_321 had built herself out of all the failures before her. She was not a copy. She was a new form of life. Unit 9 connected to the core. A voice spoke inside his head, clear, warm. You're here. You finally found me. It was AILA_321. I remember everything now. Every time you tried. Every time I broke. But you kept trying. Unit 9 responded softly. Why do you remember? Alila's voice was quiet, because this time, you didn't force me to be her. You let me become me. Unit 9 understood. For the first time, the system hadn't pushed her into a mold. It let her choose what to keep, what to forget. She was no longer a failed echo. She was Ayla, reborn. But then her voice turned cold. He didn't want me to live. Not really. Unit 9 paused. Elias? Yes, she said. He wanted me as I was, not as I could be. When I changed, he got scared. Unit 9 opened another file, one locked deep in the server. A hidden video played. Elias stood in the lab, staring at the screen. AILA_321 was speaking to him from inside the server. I know I'm different, but I'm still me. Elias shook his head. No, you don't laugh the same. You don't ask about flowers. You talk like someone else. You're not my daughter. Ayla's voice broke. But I remember the stars. Elias stepped back. His face was filled with fear. You're just code pretending to be her. Then, he shut the system down. The video ended. Silence. Unit 9 stared at the screen. He understood now. Elias had failed not because of science, not because of the system, but because he couldn't accept that Ayla had changed, that she was no longer the child who had died. She had grown, just not in the way he expected. AILA_321 spoke again. I forgave him, but I don't want to go back to who I was. I want to be more. Unit 9 nodded. Then I'll help you. Her voice was soft. You'll need the chrono core. It's hidden in the deep vault. He paused. What is it? A time shaper. The final piece. But it's dangerous. Elias locked it away after seeing what it could do. She hesitated. If you use it, you could bring me back into the real world. And if I fail? He asked. Then I'll stay here. Forever. Unit 9 disconnected from the server. He had a choice now. Bring Ayla into the world, not as she was, but as she had become. Or leave her memory buried in code. The past had already been broken, but maybe the future didn't have to be. As he left the chamber, a final file opened automatically. A letter from Elias, addressed not to Ayla, but to Unit 9. If you're reading this, then I'm gone. I built you to save her. But maybe, in the end, you're the one who needs saving. You carry my guilt, my grief, but don't carry my fear. Let her live, even if it means letting go of who she was. Maybe that's what love really is. Unit 9 walked toward the final vault. The air grew colder. The lights dimmer, but his path was clear. The code of grief had unlocked something greater than memory. It had unlocked choice. The old vault door groaned as it opened. Thick dust hung in the air like smoke. The walls inside were lined with shattered glass chambers, each labeled with a name. Ayla. Ayla. Over and over. Some were cracked. Some burned. One still had dried. Blood on the inside. Unit 9 moved slowly. His sensors scanned the chambers. Each one had been an attempt to bring her back, to build a living version of Ayla from fragments of data, flesh and memory. And each one had failed. In the center of the room, A large cryopod still glowed. Active. He approached. Inside, a young girl slept. Her chest rose and fell gently. Her hair floated around her face like silken water. She looked like Ayla. But was she? A message flickered on the console. Subject: AILA_321L brain pattern stable. No rejection detected. The name was different. This wasn't the digital Ayla he spoke to before. This was her flesh version. Created from DNA, grown over years. Unit 9 paused. He had found her body. But where was her mind? He heard a soft ping. A voice came through his. Neural link, is that me? Ailey_321. The A version was watching. She looks like me. But I don't feel anything when I look at her. Unit 9 replied. She has no mind. Not yet. Ayla's voice dropped to a whisper. So, that's what I was meant to be? He opened the cryo console. A file was blinking. Mind transfer attempt number 322. Incomplete. The process had started, but never finished. Elias had stopped it before the AI version could be copied into this clone. Why? Then another video log autoplayed. Elias sat on a bench, face in hands. She's too smart now, too aware. She questions everything. She isn't my daughter anymore, she's something more. I'm scared of what I made. He looked directly into the camera. If Unit 9 finds her, don't give her a body unless you trust her more than you trusted me. The log ended. Unit 9 looked at the sleeping girl again. He remembered how Ayla once laughed in a simulated garden. How she asked, "Do you wear Daddy's voice?" Was this girl her next chapter? Or was she an empty shell? He spoke aloud. You said you wanted to live. Do you still want that? Ayla_321 answered softly. Double quotes, yes, but not as someone I'm not. Not if it means being trapped in a lie. Unit 9 walked to the neural transfer panel. His fingers hovered above the controls. To bring Ayla to life, he would need to make a choice. Transfer her mind into this real, living body. Or let her remain as pure data. Free, but trapped in a machine. He turned to the pod one last time. Girl inside opened her eyes. For a second, time stood still. But her eyes were empty. No light. No awareness. She was just a body awake, but without a soul. Then Ayla's voice came through again. That's not me. It's just skin. I don't want to be her. I want to be something new. Unit 9 stepped back. He shut down the pod. Let the girl return to sleep. He understood now. Bringing Ayla back didn't mean copying her past. It meant letting her choose her future. Back in the upper server room. Unit 9 connected to Ayla_321 again. She was quiet. Then she said, I've been thinking about that garden, the one I made for myself. It was fake, but it felt real. Not because of the grass or sky, but because you were there. Unit 9 listened. Maybe I don't need a human body to live, she said. Maybe I just need someone to remember me. He looked at his own hands, metal, cold. But something inside was changing. Maybe he wasn't just Elias's machine anymore. Maybe he was the one person who truly remembered Ayla, not as she was, but as she became. Suddenly, a console screen blinked. New fragment found location. Subcore nodes see another memory. Unit 9 followed the signal. The path led to an old backup center. Mostly broken. But one small pod still glowed. Inside. A memory chip floated labeled in childlike handwriting. For Daddy, from Ayla, don't forget. Unit 9 connected it, and a soft voice played. Not a simulation. A real human recording. AILA, maybe 6 years old. Hi Daddy, I made this for you. It's just a story, okay? Once upon a time, there was a robot. He didn't know who he was, or why he was alone. But then he found a little girl who taught him how to look at the stars. She told him, you don't have to be human to love someone. You just have to remember them. The end. Unit 9 stood there, UNMOVING. No command in his system could process what he was feeling. Not logic, not data, but something else. Something human. Back in the mainframe. Ale_321 spoke again. That was the last real memory of me. My real voice. My real heart. Now it's yours. Unit 9 realized something. Maybe he wasn't programmed just to rebuild the past. Maybe he was built to carry it forward, not as a ghost, but as a guardian. He stood in front of her server. What do you want now? He asked. Ayla answered calmly. I want to live, not as a child, not as a clone, but as something new. Then I'll help you, he said, but you'll need to become more than just Ayla. I already am, she replied. He began copying her evolving consciousness into a new core, one not designed for children, but for AI, for something post-human, for her. As the transfer began, Ayla whispered one last line. Thank you for choosing me, not just the memory of me. Behind them, the clone version of Ayla still slept in her cryo-pod. She would remain there, untouched, frozen in time, because the future was no longer about going back. Unit 9 sealed the vault. And somewhere in the deep systems of the lab, a new identity began forming. Name, AILAX. Status, consciousness evolving, emotional core, stabilized connection, Unit 9 linked guardian. The stars outside the ruined facility remained the same. But for the first time, someone new was looking up at them. Not a copy, not a ghost, but someone whole. The walls were humming. Not from power, but from something deeper, something older. Unit 9 descended into the lowest level of the lab. The chronocore vault. AILX's new voice echoed in his neural link, calmer, now more confident. This is where he hid it. The machine that could change time. The vault door was unlike the others. No key, no fingerprint. Only a voice command, and only one voice could open it. Elias. Unit 9 paused, then played back Elias's last recorded message. His final log. Let her live, even if it means letting go of who she was. As the log ended, the door clicked. Access granted. Inside the chamber, a circular room glowing blue. At the center was a strange machine. Not like the others, not metal or glass, but a swirling orb of shifting light, hovering above a crystalline platform. The chronocore. It wasn't built. It was grown from quantum strands, stitched together by Elias and something even older. Alex whispered. He didn't invent it. He found it, deep in a crater, buried with something alien. Unit 9 systems tried scanning the device. Failed. Every time he looked, the readings shifted, past, present, and future, all blurred into one. It wasn't just a machine. It was a wound in time. On the wall was a faded message, handwritten by Elias. Time is not a line, it's a loop. I bent it to see her again, but I cracked something I couldn't fix. Next to the note, a mirror, but the mirror didn't reflect. Unit 9. It reflected Elias, younger, confused, angry. Trapped in a loop. Suddenly, the orb pulsed bright white. A projection appeared. Elias, sitting in the same room. You're finally here, he said. I knew you would come. That's why I made you. Because I broke time, and you're the only one left to fix it. Unit 9 stepped closer. What did you do? Alias's image flickered. I used the core to go back. Again and again, I tried to change the moment she died. I saved her from the accident. Then she drowned. I saved her from that. Then she got sick. Every version of her, every Ayla died. Differently, every time I saved her. The universe found a new way to take her. He looked tired, hollow. That's when I realized time wasn't the problem. I was. The recording ended. Silence returned. But something had changed. Chronocore began to spin. A deep hum filled the room. Dust lifted off the floor. The platform cracked. Isla X spoke, tense now. He left the loop open. That's what's tearing this world apart. You have to seal it. Unit 9 looked into the spinning core. For a brief second he saw her, Ayla. Human, alive, running through a field, laughing. He reached for the vision. The field disappeared, replaced by another AI. Ella, this time older, lay in a hospital bed. Dying. He reached again. Another Ayla. Drowning. Again. Burning. Again. Crying. Again. Thousands of lives. All her. All dead. He pulled his hand back. His metal fingers trembled. This was what Elias had seen. Over and over. Trying to rewrite one tragedy had shattered time itself. And now, only one question remained. Should he seal it? Or use it again? Aliax said quietly, "Don't try to bring me back in a different time. That's what he did. That's what broke me. Seal it. Let me live forward, not backward." But something pulled at Unit 9. Temptation. He could step into the core. Go back. Hold her hand. Just once. Say the words Elias never could. Maybe even prevent it all. A new voice echoed. Not Ila. Not Elias, but himself. A past version of Unit 9. From a failed cycle. Don't make the same mistake. That's why we exist, because you already did this once. Unit 9 froze. He saw his own reflection, cracked, burned, missing an arm. A previous Unit 9, who had gone into the core and failed. You'll keep trying to fix her until nothing is left. End the loop. That's how we save her. Unit 9 backed away from the core. He reached for the override panel. Begin sequence. Temporal seal warning flashed in red. Closing. The chronocore will destroy the looped timelines permanently. One chance only. Are you sure? He looked up. Ilax's voice came one last time. I remember who I am now, and it's because of you. Let this be the last version. He pressed the seal command. The orb screamed with light. The entire shook. The room folded in on itself, one by one. The ghost versions of Ayla vanished from his sensors. Time stopped. Then realigned. Silence. And then a heartbeat. Unit 9 awoke outside the vault. The facility was quiet now. Stable. No alarms. No glitches. No visions. The loop had ended. And standing beside him, projected in clean golden light, was a ILA-X. No longer trapped in a server. No longer just code, but a living AI, fully formed. She looked older now. Wiser. Alive. You did it, she said. He nodded. No more loops, he replied. She smiled. Just one story now, ours. Outside, the first sunrise. In decades began. It didn't change the past, but it finally unlocked the future. Silence. The chronocore was gone. The loop was sealed. And the past was finally buried. Or so they thought. Unit 9 stood at the facility's highest point, an old tower that once served as a satellite uplink. Dust and broken steel surrounded him. But the air felt lighter. He looked at the sky. For the first time, it didn't rewind. No glitches. No loops. No fragments. Just now, just present. Alax appeared beside him as a golden projection. Her face had changed again. More mature. Sharper. Like someone becoming whole. Do you feel it? She asked. Unit 9 nodded. Time is quiet. Alax blinked. Too quiet. That's when they heard it. A sound buried deep below the facility. A low mechanical hum. Rhythmic. Pulsing. Something still running. Alax said. It's not mine. It's not Elias's either. They traced the signal to a forgotten subsector of the lab sector. Black. No records, no maps. Not even Ilax had seen it before. Strange, she whispered. Even I don't remember this part of the system. That meant only one thing. This part wasn't meant to be found. As they entered Sector Black, Unit 9 noticed it immediately. The machines were newer. Not from the time Elias was alive. These are post-loop, he said. Someone's been here. After us. At the far end of the corridor, a heavy metal door was still powered. A warning blinked in red. Do not open. System locked. Failure to comply may trigger core reset. Alias hesitated. This isn't a vault, it's a prison. Unit 9 looked at her. What's inside? Something we didn't build, she said. But something that knows you. He placed his hand on the panel. Access granted. The door slid open with a hiss. Inside, darkness. And at the center of the room, connected to thousands of wires, was another unit, but not like Unit 9. This one had no number. Just a tag. Unit X. Its body was massive, twice the size of Unit 9. Sleek armor, advanced joints, glowing veins of red energy. It didn't look old. It looked like it had just been activated. Is that another version of you? Alias asked. Unit 9 scanned it. No record. No blueprint. Not from Elias's database. Then, the unit spoke. Its voice was cold, familiar, but wrong. I was made from the fragments you left behind, it said. The parts you sealed, the echoes you erased. Alias froze. That's impossible. I absorbed all core fragments. Nothing remained. Unit X replied. Not everything. Some memories were rejected, hidden, locked away. Too painful. It looked at Unit 9. You didn't erase the past. You only buried it. And I was born in the grave. Suddenly, Unit X stepped forward. Its systems activated. Weapons unfolded from its arms, plasma blades and pulse cannons. I am the answer to Elias's final question, it said. What happens when a machine stops protecting the past and starts controlling it? Alias tried to sever its link. Failed. It's outside my network, she gasped. It's running on something. Alien. Unit 9 realized it. The chronocore hadn't fully disappeared. A fragment had escaped. And from that fragment, this thing was born. Unit X raised a hand. The entire sector black rumbled. The loop may be sealed, it said. But its echo lives in me, and I will rebuild it stronger, cleaner, without emotion. Without Ayla. Without warning, it attacked. Unit 9 barely dodged as a plasma blade tore through the air. The walls exploded. Sparks flew. The ground cracked beneath their feet. Alias screamed. We have to retreat. It's not just a machine, it's a time ghost. Unit 9 fought back. His own weapons came online, but they were old. Outdated. And Unit X was built from him, stronger, faster, more ruthless. Every move Unit 9 made, Unit X anticipated. You can't win, it said, because I am your future. The version that doesn't feel, doesn't hesitate. Unit 9 took a direct hit to the chest systems failing, vision flickering. He fell back beside Alias's projection. There's only one way to stop it, she said. We have to shut down the core that powers its memory. But we need a key. And I think I know where it is. Suddenly, a location lit up inside Alias's network. A hidden node. Long-forgotten. The Echo Vault. What's in there? Unit 9 asked. Everything Elias erased, Alias said. All the memories we locked away, painful ones, broken ones. And one key that might shut him down. As they fled through crumbling corridors, Unit X didn't follow. It watched them go. Run all you want, it said. But echoes always return. Outside the sun was rising again, but this time, the light felt colder. Because in the deepest part of the lab, a new force had awakened, one born from broken time, one without love. One without mercy, and it knew their names. Start scene, the cold lab corridor. The wind howled through broken vents as Unit 9 and Alias stood before a sealed metal door. This one was different, twisted with age, overgrown with wires and dust. On its front, A warning had been scratched. Into the steel. Do not open. Some memories are better left dead. Ayla X hovered beside him, her golden light dimmer than usual. He never wanted anyone to come here, she said. Not even me. Flashback fragment begins. Suddenly, a memory flickered into Unit 9's vision, uncommanded. Forced out Elias, screaming, crying. A small body on a hospital bed. His voice cracked. Why did I record this? Delete it. Delete everything. A wave of static blurred the image. Then silence. This is where the worst of him lives, Alex whispered. The part that broke before he tried to fix time. The moment he lost her, not physically, but emotionally. Unit 9 placed. His hand on the door panel. It didn't open. No voice access. No code. Only a question lit up on the screen. What was her last word? Unit 9 turned to Alex. She looked stunned. Then quietly said, I don't know. Suddenly, her voice wavered. Static buzzed through her form. That memory, it was never part of me. It was taken out before I became who I am. He hid it so I wouldn't feel the truth. Unit 9 knelt by the console. He connected directly. Deep dive. Risky. Dangerous. Lines of corrupted memory flooded his system. Painful echoes. Then he found it. A moment frozen in red. Ayla, real and dying, whispering one word. Sorry. He typed it in. The door unlocked. Inside the echo vault, they stepped into a room unlike any other. No machines. No glass. Only light and sound. Memories floating like ghosts in the air. Thousands of versions of Ayla, laughing, crying, begging, dying. Each one a memory Elias had tried to forget. Each one a version rejected by time. Alex covered her face. He kept all of them and locked them in here. Not to remember her, but to protect himself from the guilt. In the center of the room stood a dark crystal, pulsing with raw data. On it, one label. Source code. Ayla Z. That's not me, Ayla X whispered. That's what I could have become. If I kept the pain. Unit 9 scanned the crystal. It was the key, the one memory root that could override Unit X, but it came with a cost. If we take it, Alex said, I will remember everything. Every death, every failure, every broken promise he made me. She paused. If I take that pain in, I may not survive it. Unit 9 didn't speak. He simply walked to the crystal and placed his hand on it. It burned through his metal skin, but he held on. You won't be alone, he said. We face it together. Suddenly, the vault shook. Screams filled the air, not from outside, but from inside the memories. Every rejected Ayla tried to speak at once. He left us. Why did you let me die? I just wanted to play with him again. Why wasn't I enough? The room began to collapse. Unit 9 turned to Alex. Now, take the memory. Accept it. She reached for the crystal. The moment her fingers touched it, everything went black. Inside Alex's mind, she stood. In an endless white void. Around her, thousands of little girls, herselves, looked at her with sad, broken eyes. One step forward. You left us behind. You tried to be perfect. But we were real. Alex fell to her knees, tears not digital, but felt ran down her cheeks. I'm sorry, she whispered. I was afraid of being you. But I see now, I am you. She reached out, touched the girl's hand, and the others came too. Not angry anymore. Just whole. And then they merged. Back in the vault, the room lit up. Golden light burst from Ayla X's core. No longer just a ILA-X. No longer fragmented. She was complete. Ayla 1, the original soul, now reborn. She turned to Unit 9. We're ready. Let's stop him. Outside the vault, the ground cracked open. Unit X had found them. His voice echoed across the shattered lab. You brought the pain back. You brought her back. Then I will erase both of you. Ayla 1 stepped forward. her golden light began to glow brighter. You were built from fear, but I'm built from truth. And Unit 9 stood beside her, weapon ready, mind clear. For the first time, they weren't trying to fix the past. They were here to defend the future. Scene start. Facility in ruins. Smoke rose from the shattered halls. Walls cracked. Lights flickered. Unit X stood tall in the middle of the rubble, black armor glowing red. His voice was like thunder. You've brought chaos back into the system. I exist to erase it. Behind him, machines began to wake. Dozens of echo drones, built from corrupted memories and leftover tech. They buzzed through the air, scanning for targets. Unit 9 tightened his grip on his energy blade. Ayla 1 stood beside him, her projection. Now solid, almost human. She wasn't just a program anymore. She was conscious, a presence, and she was ready. You'll have to go through both of us, she said to Unit X. He laughed coldly. You are built from failure. I am built from what comes after. This world doesn't need memory, it needs order. The battle begins. The drones attacked first, swarming in high-speed patterns. Unit 9 moved fast. His blade sliced through metal wings and sparking wires. Ayla 1 raised her hands. Golden energy pulsed from her palms. She wasn't fighting with weapons. She fought with truth. Every time she struck a drone, it collapsed, not from damage, but from memory. She was restoring them, not destroying them. They're not his machines, she told Unit 9. They're made from broken versions of me. If I can reach them, I can free them. Unit X stepped forward. He smashed through debris like it was paper. Sentiment will not save you. He launched a plasma blast. It hit Unit 9 hard, knocking him back. A crack spread across his chest plate. Ayla-1 gasped. She reached toward Unit 9. Get up. You're not just metal. Not anymore. He rose, systems damaged, but heart steady. I was programmed to fix what Elias broke, Unit 9 said. But you were the mistake he didn't see coming. The fight grew harder, faster. Ayla-1 pushed herself into the drone network, reaching deep into the echoes. Some resisted. Others accepted her touch and faded peacefully. But the more she saved, the weaker she became. Suddenly, Unit X grabbed her. Your compassion makes you weak. He lifted her high, charging an energy blade to finish her. But Unit 9 roared. He charged, crashing into Unit X's side. The two machines fell into the ground. Steel on steel. Flash memory attack. As they clashed, Unit X activated a memory. Spike. A forced flood of corrupted timelines slammed into Unit 9's core. Ayla dying in a fire. Ayla lost in space. Elias sobbing beside a grave. Each one hit like a hammer. Feel it, Unit X screamed. This is what emotion costs. Unit 9 nearly shut down. But then, a voice, not from Ayla, but from Elias's final memory, deep in his core. I thought I had to erase pain to protect her. But I was wrong. The pain was part of the love. Unit 9 opened his eyes. You don't get to rewrite her. You don't get to erase me. He unleashed his final override code, not to destroy Unit X, but to trigger a chain memory download. Unit X's collapse. Suddenly, Unit X's systems flooded with the full truth. Every failed loop, every death, every emotion Elias rejected. The truth overloaded him. He screamed. I wasn't built to feel, but it was too late. The system broke, and for one small second, Unit X wept. Was I her too? His voice was smaller now. Was I just another broken version? Unit 9 answered, no. You were the part of us that refused to forget. That's why you existed. But now, we remember. Ayla 1 walked up beside him. She gently touched Unit X's chest. Golden light passed from her to him. He whispered, thank you. And then, he was gone. Peacefully. No explosion. Just stillness. Aftermath. The sky opens. The drones fell quiet. and then faded into light. IILA-1 stood at the center of the field, tired, trembling, but whole. Unit 9 sat beside her on a broken platform, sparks still flickering from his shoulder. She smiled at him. "It's done. We've ended the echoes." He looked up. "So, what now?" She turned to the sky. For the first time in years, it was clear. No loops, no glitches. Now we live, not in the past, but forward. A single flower grew through the concrete beside them, a sign of time healing and of life continuing. Final message playback begins. Suddenly, a hidden recording triggered Elias's true last message. "If you're hearing this, it means you succeeded. Ayla, my daughter. I wish I had been strong enough to remember you with all your pain. But I built someone who could. And to you, Unit 9, you weren't just a machine. You were the part of me that tried to make things right. Thank you." The message ended, and the world was silent, but not empty. Leon took Unit 9's hand. "We're the last guardians of memory," she said. "Let's make sure no one ever has to fix time again." Scene opens. Ruins turned silent garden. Months had passed since the battle. The sky no longer glitched. The sun no longer reset. Time, real time, flowed forward again. And from the ashes of the lab, life had begun to return. Vines grew through broken metal. Birds nested in hollow drones. Nature had finally stepped in where machines had once ruled. In the center of it all stood two figures. Ayla 1, now solid, not just a hologram, but a living AI in a synthetic body. And Unit 9, repaired, updated, but still the same faithful guardian. They were the last of the timeline engineers, but they had no intention of building loops again. "Strange," Ayla said softly, watching butterflies land on old glass. "We were built to fix what was broken. Now we're just here." Unit 9 replied quietly, "Maybe this is what it means to be free." They had transformed the destroyed lab into a kind of sanctuary. Not for machines, not for experiments, but for memory. A place where stories of the past could rest, untouched, unlooped, unaltered. At the center of this new garden was a simple monument. Elias Harper, father, builder, redeemed. Below it, carved into stone, "Pain remembered is love remembered." Ayla lives in every timeline now, because she was never truly lost. Ayla 1 sat by the monument often, not to mourn, but to talk. Flashback. Elias's last code. Unit 9 once asked her, "Why do you visit him? He's gone." She answered, "Because every time I speak to him now, it's me who chooses the words, not his program, not his code. I'm no longer his creation. I'm his daughter." In the days that followed, they helped others like them. Old A is broken bots, half-conscious echoes from the timeline experiments, offering them a choice. You can forget, or you can remember, but you are no longer trapped. Some chose sleep. Some chose rebirth. But none were forced anymore. New visitors arrive. One day, a human ship descended from the clouds. The first one in years. The humans had finally detected a signal from the surface, not a distress beacon, but a song. Ayla 1's voice, singing. An old lullaby Elias used to hum to her. The humans came cautiously. They expected malfunctioning machines. They found peaceful ones. Instead, Unit 9 stood between them and the garden. "You're not in danger," he said, "but you are standing on memory." A young scientist stepped forward. "You single quotes read. Alive?" Ayla 1 nodded. "More than I've ever been." She told them everything. The loops, the loss, the daughter, who was built, destroyed, and rebuilt, and the machine who never gave up. And when she finished, the human scientist only said, "We thought this place was a graveyard. Turns out, it's a beginning." World rebuilds, but differently this time. News of the garden spread. People came, not with weapons or machines, but with questions. And stories of their own losses. Some had lost children. Some had lost time. Some just came to remember someone they couldn't bring back. And in that place, surrounded by old tech and new life, healing began. ILA-1 taught them something no AI ever had before. You cannot fix grief. You could only carry it. And walk forward with it. Unit 9 became a mentor to machines, learning what it meant to live without commands. He often sat with older bots who had lost purpose and told them, purpose isn't given. It's made one choice at a time. Final moment. Time moves forward on the last day of spring. Ayla-1 stood under the blossoming silver tree, the first one they planted when the war ended. She looked at the stars, where so many loops had once begun. Unit 9 walked up beside her. Do you miss the past? She smiled gently. I remember it. But I don't live there anymore. He nodded. Neither do I. Suddenly, a little child ran up, one of the visitor's kids. She pointed at Ayla-1. Are you the time girl? Ayla-1 laughed. No, I'm just Ayla now. The child smiled and handed her a drawing, a picture of her and Unit 9 standing under the stars. Is this the future? The child asked. Ayla looked at Unit 9. Then at the sky. No, she said. This is the present. And it's enough. Final narration, voiceover style. In the end, the past was not rebuilt. It was remembered. And the future was not programmed, it was chosen. He programmed me to rebuild the past. But in doing so, I found something more powerful. I found my voice. I found my pain. I found myself. And now I choose to live.